Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me today. So today we're going to be showing you how to make this ice cream cone gift box. As you can tell, I'm excited. So this is the ice cream gift box. It opens up just like that. Isn't that so cute? I absolutely love this. And that just squeezes back together, and it's actually very easy and simple to make. So it does look a bit complicated and there are some diagrams on the back, but once you see me do it, you'll be like, aha! Okay, so always make sure you watch my tutorials if you're ever unsure on how to put something together. So this is 14 dies in here. You get everything you need, including the embossing die there. So let's tip everything out and show you everything that you get. So this will make this top section here for the curved ice cream. This here is a mat. This here is your main die. This is the main die for the lid. We have the embossing part there, and this will all fit on a standard big shot as well. So get all of these here, and you even get this extra die here at the bottom just in case you wanted to add some different sort of detail. So I have made one here already. I've just glued that on because it does have the little flap at the bottom, and you have all of these little accessories here. So we have the strawberry, we have what is that, a raspberry, and we have the flake and a little triangular wafer there, and we have some sprinkles. So this little circle here is the base, and this is the top for the lid. Okay, so let's get started. So I have die cut a few things out already, so I'm just going to match up everything so you know what I've done. So I've taken the stripy pink paper from the British Summer paper pad, so you need to die cut one of those. You need one of the circles, the larger circles, one or two of the smaller ones, it's up to you how many you cut out. And here we have one of the main die sets, sorry, one of the main lid sections, and then the mat, and then again you get the mat here as well for this main. So we have the main and we have the smaller section. So where I'm going to start is I'm going to run this through on my big shot, and we're going to get that, I don't need that, I need that there, and we're going to run that through to get that wafer embossed look. Okay, so I'm hoping that is sort of showing up, but we are going to make that look a little bit more visible. So whilst my hot glue gun is heating up, I'm just going to have a quick tidy, and then we're going to ink. Okay, so I've got some distress ink here in Vintage Photo. Now all of the supplies that I'm using today, including the glue gun and all that, I'm going to pop down in the description box. Okay, so I'm literally just going to just smoosh this over. I'm going to keep it as flat to the table as I can. I just wanted a really good coverage of this. You can alternatively use a sponge applicator or one of those brushes, but I just really wanted to get a nice look on there. And then on the top, this top section here, this is the mat for the ice cream top lid. I'm just going to take the pad directly to that edge there, just to really give that a nice darkened edge. If you wanted something a little bit more subtle, use a sponge. There we go. Right, put the lid on. Okay, so for this section here, I'm just going to pop this off the edge of my table. There we go. I've just leaned that off and pushed it off the edge of my table just like that, just to get that little bit of a curve going. Okay, so I am going to be using my glue gun for this because it's a lot easier with the glue gun. So this has the score lines, so we can fold those inwards. So this is still heating up, so let's move on to the top of the ice cream. Okay, this is actually a good stage to do this before we get assembling, because this is going to need a bit of time just to settle down. Okay, so we need to fold the diagonals first downwards, so we have like the mountain shape, and again use your bone folder, and then do the one that goes the other way. There we go. And then we have these normal lines, straight lines that run straight from each side. I'm just going to fold those upwards, so these are a valley fold. Okay, so you should have something that now looks like that. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and I'm going to do a few snips now. So I'm just going to chop off this section here. You can actually leave these on, but I prefer just to chop these off. Personally I prefer to work with less tabs. It's a lot easier if you just get rid of them as much as possible. And then on this one I'm just going to chop that and make a slit there. It's just going to help with the curve. Just chopping up the center, and if you really want to be drastic you can also just chop that off too. So I'm keeping the tab that's furthest to the corner. There we go. That's not completely necessary, but that's what I like to do. I just find it so much easier to put together. So we have something that now looks like that. Okay, so we're going to push this together and we're going to make this funny sort of shape there, and we're going to glue all of those sections together. So I'm going to use Fabri-Tac for this. Again, that's probably heated up by now, but we're just going to go ahead and glue all of these sections together in that position that I just showed you. Okay, so squeeze. And if you want to push it down flat and then get your bone folder and give it a good squash, you can do as well. Got bits of old glue there. There we go. Okay, so you should have something that now looks like that. So these little tabs at the bottom, you can just fold those out that way. So the white sections are at the bottom, and that is almost ready now to go on here. So let's hope that this has now heated. Oh yes, it has, nicely. And then we're going to pop this perfectly in the center. I'm going to have to lift this up so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so once you're happy with that in the center, I can now pop that aside and we can work on the rest. I'll put the lid on that. Okay, so we have this side tab here. There's no score line because this is going to be a conical curved shape, and if you put a score line in there it's going to look very odd. So I'm just adding my wet glue across there. Not wet glue, hot glue. And we're just going to join these two together. There we go. So that's coming together nicely, and then pop all of those in. And again, I'm going to use hot glue on this. If I dare try not to get your fingers doing this, or add glue straight to the tabs instead. And then pop that on, and then quickly shape it just by squeezing the sides just to get that perfectly round. And if you have another one of these, you can die cut this from another piece of pattern paper or the same colour of this card, and then you can pop that in there if you want to cover that up. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the lid. Okay, so we have this row here of the larger tabs, and we have this row here at the bottom with the smaller tabs. So with these smaller tabs, just fold them in right in. This is what's going to catch on the bottom here as the lid goes on. As you can see there, it helps the lid to stay on without falling off. Okay, and now these ones here, these just fold in. This is what this is going to settle on once we are done. Okay, so again there's no score line here, we're just going to join that together, and I like to leave a little bit of probably about 1 millimeter there of a distance, just to make sure that it fits on the base nicely, because it's a conical shape and slopes inwards. It's a little bit more of a snug fit in certain areas, so I'm making sure that I have a good enough gap there. Okay, so these get folded right in, and then we have these top tabs there. I'm going to fold those down quite nicely as well, so they're quite flat. Okay, so now let's move back to the ice cream. Okay, so grab yourself your bone folder. Now you can do this bit before you glue this onto the circle if you want to, or you can do it afterwards. It's a bit easier before. So we're going to curve these using our bone folder on the tab side. I'll show you exactly what I mean in a minute. So these are going to curve in, and then you're going to glue that in that position there using that white tab. So do the same on the other fins. Okay, so it is definitely a lot easier to do this before you put it on the circle, but there you go, it is possible. Okay, so again, using your hot glue, add glue just to the bottom side of that tab, and then pop that down. Okay, so that is our ice cream swirl already done now. So this will be a perfect opportunity to add bits of fruit and sprinkles, and at the end I'm going to pop on a flake. So let's get this popped onto here, so this is a little easier to hold. So I'm just going to add hot glue now just around the outside, and then pop this on, and again before it sets just go round making sure that it's all nice and even. There we go, there is our lid. Oops. Okay, so let's add our little decorations now. So let's go back to the cone. I've got bits of string coming off me, so I'm going to add glue just along here. Do a dry run first. I'm going to add glue just along that section there, and then I'm going to line it up with this line here. That helps to kind of disguise that line. Okay, and I'm just going to add glue just along this curve here, and then down. You can do the bottom section too, and then just curve that around. There we go. Now we just need to do exactly the same on this one here. It's always good just to get the first one down first. Again, I'm going to pop that onto the line, join it up. Okay, there we go. And if this gap does bother you, you can put a sentiment there, you can put a bow there, you can decorate it more with strawberries or further items from the accessories. Okay, so there is a stamp sets that do coordinate with this collection too. Okay, so here is our base, here is our lid. All we've got to do now is just pop that on. Just give it a little bit of a squeeze because it is conical shaped. And there we go. There is our lovely ice cream. So let me just die cut 2 flakes and then we'll add those on there. Okay, so I've got my 2 flakes there. So I guess we call this, I'm making a 99. I love 99s. So I'm just adding the glue just to that section there. Add some glue now to the other side, but over the entire thing. And then just glue that together. And there we have our flake. That's really beautiful ice cream. What are you going to put in yours? I think jelly beans might go nicely. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me today. This is the ice cream gift box die set. All the links will be down below in the description box, and I'll see you again soon.